I'll never send a friend circle again. At 3 a.m. this morning, I overplayed the game and sent a message to my friends. I want to eat crayfish so bad. Then I dropped my cell phone and went to sleep. When I was half asleep, I heard a knock on the door. Someone is shouting at the door, "Is anyone there? Please take your meal." But I didn't place an order. Just as I was about to open the takeout software to check, the voice outside the door rang again, "Take the takeout." Through the dark living room, I stared at the door and didn't move, feeling that the person outside the door would break in the next second. Not long after the sound of footsteps outside, "He should be gone." I immediately felt a burst of fear. When I went to work the next day and asked my girlfriend, she said that she didn't see me send my friend circle last night. I looked at the right. The friend circle really didn't send out. How did the takeout get to my house? It's not like someone is watching me from the shadows, is it? At night, I was so scared that I lost sleep. This time, the knocking sound was extremely regular. Not fast and not slow. 3 times each time. I opened my cell phone and it was 3 a.m. again. I opened my cell phone and it was 3 a.m. I stared at the door with wide eyes as the knocking started again. "Your takeout is ready for pickup." I tiptoed to the door, held my breath and looked out the cat's eye, and it was indeed the delivery boy. He saw that no one might be in the house and started to make a call. The sudden vibration of his cell phone scared me so much that I didn't hold it and dropped it on the floor. "If you are home, please open the door. I still have an order here." The delivery boy heard the voice again knocking. "You put the door, I'll take it later." I lie in the cat's eye to monitor the delivery man's every move, until he took the elevator to leave. I finally did not dare to take the takeaway. After dawn, I was thinking of planning to call the police. Just as I was about to make the call, I got a message on my cell phone. "Why don't you get the takeout?" Who was this guy? I don't remember being friends with him. I was about to ask him who he was, and then he asked me, "Don't you want to eat crayfish? Why don't you pick up the takeout I ordered you?" And then a picture of my front door. My heart was pounding. My temples are pounding. "Who are you?" I calmed down and figured I'd find out who he was first. While he was responding to my messages, I went through his personal information, but I didn't find anything useful. The chat screen kept showing that the other party was typing. I'm the first to interrupt him, so he doesn't have to reply. "I'll delete you right away. If you keep harassing me, I'll call the police." After that, I deleted him. Now he disappeared from my address book. This place is too dangerous. I have to move out now. I called the landlady. I told her about my situation and my concerns. She didn't want to cause trouble in her own house. She said she could return the apartment early, but half of the deposit would be deducted. I quickly agreed to her request. Compared to my own life, half the rent was nothing. I took my luggage with me. I'm going to stay at my best friend's place for a while, until I found an apartment. My best friend wants me to stay for a long time, but she's getting married soon. It's not good to keep her too long. I soon found a new house. My friend who was supposed to move with me was called away by the boss. So I went back to my old house by myself. I packed up the rest of my things. I met my neighbor in the elevator. She was very warm and welcoming. "I hadn't seen you for a few days and thought you'd moved out." I smiled lightly. "I'm moving out." "How did you know?" "I'm moving to your boyfriend's house." I'm full of doubts. "My boyfriend? I'm single." "Really, the other day I saw a man open the door and enter your house. Sister is also puzzled. When I heard that, my heart beat half a time. My voice trembled as I asked if he'd gone. She lowered her voice and answered no. I asked her if she was ill. She left right away. After hearing that, I didn't dare go back to my room. Can you accompany me home? She nodded, yes. I opened the door and looked around. I realized there was no sign that the house had been tampered with. So I sent her away. I quickly packed up my things. Then I called the moving company. I have to get out of here now. This feeling of nervousness. Until I got into the passenger seat. I think I'm out of danger for good. When I arrived at my new place in the evening, I had just left my things at the door with the movers. I felt a chill in my heart. The key to the new house was just left on the coffee table. I left it on the coffee table. The master wiped the sweat from his forehead. You go back and get the key first. I'll move the rest of the stuff up and wait for you. I played it out in my head countless times. The process of entering the door to get the key. I walked stiffly to the door, and my body started to get goosebumps uncontrollably. I let out a deep breath and prepared to unlock the door. There were no lights in the house. The empty living room looked even darker. My right hand touched the switch on the wall. The lights came on and I saw the keys lying on the coffee table. My hand had just grasped the key. I heard the door close behind me. I was so scared that I shivered. I wondered if it was the wind. I turned my head to look at the door. I saw a man walking towards me. I've been waiting for you for a long time. At that moment, my brain and legs seemed to be separated. My feet felt like they were nailed to the ground. I watched as this man approached me step by step. I wanted to call for help. My mouth opened, but I lost my voice. I tried to stay calm. Shivering, I grabbed my cell phone behind my back to call the police. But this man found me. You want to call the police? After listening carefully to his voice, I realized that this voice was exactly the same as that first delivery man. The man clutched mine. The pain in my wrist brought me to my senses. He suddenly slapped me in the face. I started to struggle. I grabbed the man's face with my other hand. I kicked him in his vitals. He was totally pissed off with me. He punched me in the stomach. The taste of blood poured out of my mouth. I was paralyzed. He pulled out a piece of twine from somewhere. He tied me up hand and foot. I asked him who he was. He didn't say a word. He put a piece of tape over my mouth. The man pulls me by my hair and heads for the bathroom. The stinging pain in my scalp made me want to scream. But my mouth was gagged and all I could do was whimper. My cell phone is vibrating on the floor. It's probably the moving company rushing me. The man hears the vibration and becomes furious. He grabbed the phone and slammed it on the floor. Now my last hope is gone. The man is walking towards me with a hammer in his hand. I closed my eyes as a reflex. I don't even know this man. Why is he targeting me like this? He suddenly laughed. You want to die, don't you? Then I'll let you. I frowned and opened my eyes to glare at him. This man is probably sick in the head. He's got the wrong person in mind for revenge. With my mouth taped shut, I can't defend myself. But this pervert seems to be stuck in his own world. He's crazy. I need to calm down. Otherwise, there's no telling what he'll do. The man continues to talk to himself. You wanted to die, didn't you? Well, I'm here to fulfill your wish. What, because I said I was bored to death in my circle? He really thinks I want to die. I'm more than sure he's crazy. Pick a way to die. Should I smash your head in with a hammer? Or cut your carotid artery with a razor blade? I feel like I might not be able to escape. I sensed that I might not be able to escape from this psychopath's control. So I tried to stall for time. I bet that the master would realize and come to my rescue. He saw me whimpering. He ripped off my mouth to explain. You are a crazy person. You don't care about other people's feelings. You think you are helping people out, but you are wrong. You are just trying to justify your mistakes. You are just trying to justify your mistakes. I stared that man down. He was completely enraged by me. Don't be afraid. I'm here to help you out. He picked up a hammer and tried to hit me. The door was kicked open by the police. They grabbed his hammer hand. He was subdued on the spot. It turned out that the mover had just called. The man smashed his cell phone and answered it. When he heard the sound of fighting coming from the phone, he called the police. Later, the police asked me to make a statement and I realized that this pervert has been lurking in my home for a long time. He knew my habits like the back of his hand. He even peeked at my cell phone. It's like a cat catching a mouse. Because this time I was away from home for a long time, I couldn't satisfy his desire. That's why he wanted to kill me. After this incident, I feel like I've survived.